It's beat earnings per share coming in at $1.39 versus its estimate of $1.30, seeing a little bit of weakness in the share reaction in terms of prices. Also because we saw over at Chevron that worldwide production came in lower than had been estimated. Also some weakness downstream, and net income fell. And that's something similar to what we saw over at Exxon, which reported about 30 minutes ago, seeing a bigger drop for Exxon because there was a much bigger miss there. Earnings per share coming in at 55 cents versus an estimate of 72 cents. Net income fell some 49% year on year, but the real weakness was downstream. Refining and chemicals, they saw a loss of some $256 million there. The issue is margins. Now, the company had warned that downstream was going to be an issue for them in the first quarter, but the miss there is still incredibly rare and will lead to some investor questions. Now, of course, Upstream should be doing much better for both of the big oil companies, given the rally we've seen in oil prices through this year. Oil prices up some 40% or more than 40% since that Christmas Eve low. And whilst those higher crude prices are good for both the big oil companies, there is going to be something of a time lag. And Bloomberg Intelligence's Fernando Valle saying that for Exxon, certainly, they won't really see the benefit of those higher crude prices until the second or third quarter. Of course, now attention turns to the earnings calls for both those companies, and particularly when we take a look at Chevron's call, which starts at 11 a.m. Eastern time. The big focus is going to be on M&A. Of course, Occidental Petroleum went public this week with its plans to buy Anadarko. They had a higher bid than the one that had already been accepted by Chevron. Chevron at the time saying that they were still confident that the agreed transaction would go through, but analysts, investors will be looking for some more clarity on that on the earnings call, especially if it involves them increasing their offer. And unusually, Chevron CEO will be on this earnings call to answer questions.